Okay, my name's Zakashi, guys, and we are back with another ranked PvP guide trying to help you guys get to God rank. In this video here, I'm going to be teaching you guys how to frame trap. This is something not just used in Dragon Ball Legends, but it's used in various different high-paced games. Fighting, shooting, whatever it is, frame trapping is super important to get one step ahead of your opponent, and it's often used at the highest ranks of any type of game. No need to do all this talking in the intro, let's get straight into this video. Right, so the first thing I want to show you is a section where you could basically test out a few things. It's not perfect, but it's the closest thing you will get to a training mode where nobody can bother you. So what you want to do is go to menu, go to summon. When you go over to the summon section, just pick any banner of your choice. I'm going to use Ultra Gogeta Blue. There he is. Alright, so go to featured characters, and then when you go on featured characters at the bottom right, there will always be a try button, and in the try section you can literally test out the character of your choice. It's usually just to try units that you don't have, but you could use it against the Cybermen to just test things out. It's very easy, simple, it's quite a bit of fun in a sense if you've never used it before, but you could just practice a few things if you're not good at anything in the game. Just want to put this section out there so you could use it for future reference. Okay, so to frame trap, what you need to know is that there's two things that really enable somebody to frame trap. It's stopping time and the card or ability you use. In this case, it would only be the green card or the main ability. Those are the two things you can use to catch someone in a frame trap. There are a lot of other things in the game that stop time, but they won't be able to be used to give you an advantage in PvP. So if I go into this try section now, you'll see what I mean. When you're fighting somebody, you could also use their frame traps or stop time stops to actually your advantage. Some cases may be where they rising rush animation stops time for about 5 timer counts. That might be a drag, but timer counts stop moving and it's about 3 seconds because you see the whole rising rush gimmick pop up and whatnot. When that happens, it might give you some time to make a decision or maybe take back a decision you was gonna make. Not all cases, but of course it's something you need to add to your brain. When you're playing, green cards are a good way to catch people because when you do the green card, you can see that the timer can't stop moving and you get your little animation. The animation suspends the game, so in that moment that you're seeing the green card go off, you'll see there's a fancy animation and timer count stop. The same thing happens when you press the main ability. You can see the Gogeta image comes up and the text of whatever the main ability is called, and then time stops for a couple seconds so that you could actually point out the fact that you popped your main ability. Now, what's important to note when you do this is that if the enemy has inputted something, so whether it be a sidestep or a blast art or a strike art, because this is still a game, it's not real life, time gets suspended. The computer, the game, still has to register the animation or the input that they put in. So if they pressed to sidestep, so they swiped, the sidestep would immediately activate. You'd see a gust of wind, or you'd see them go from standing still to sidestepping. Sometimes it's delayed, but in most cases the input has to go through. Computers works on zeros and ones and zeros, so it's either on or it's off. Has the input been inputted or not? So if they've sidestepped, it would go from them standing still as we are floating right now because it's just a computer, to them being suspended in the sidestep moment. But still, because you've stopped time, your main ability is active, but you've seen what their next move is and it's giving you a couple seconds to activate. It's not the easiest thing to explain, but hopefully that's made sense in your head to see that you'll be able to essentially see the future while time has been stopped, giving you an advantage on the battlefield. There's a lot of cases where I could show you, but there's too many to really talk about to just say, this one. There's going to be so many unique situations, but the most obvious one is when somebody is sidestepping, you press the green or the main ability. Not everybody's green and main ability. It would be those cases where it's like a power up, so Ultra Super Gogeta for example, or Ultra Gogeta Blues like I just showed you. If it's an explosive green, it could catch them even if they don't sidestep, so then you wouldn't essentially be frame trapping them, you would literally just be activating your explosive green. Main abilities works for everybody's main ability does something, but the main thing is that it stops time, and that's what you want to take in from the main ability. In the same way where there's other attacks that also give you that time to make a decision, it's not essentially frame trapping, but you'll be able to use that to your advantage to get ahead on the battlefield. So say if somebody rising rushes you from mid-range, you'll be able to get that couple 3 seconds to make the decision. But maybe if there was no animation, a lot of people would be caught in that mid-range rush, which would be stupid, but of course mid-range strikes catches people, but you'll never get caught by a mid-range rush unless you press the card because your input has to be carried out. Hopefully that makes sense. I'll show you some examples and later in the video there'll be gameplay anyways. Hey, he sidestepped, I believe. You see there, the gust of wind, that small gust of wind, I'll replay it on the screen, is what you're looking for when you want somebody to be caught in a frame trap. If I didn't press the green card, then it would have just activated instantly and I never would have been able to catch it. This is against a CPU, but you know people are a lot more reactive than the computers, so it's much easier to catch. I'm going to try catch another one here. It's much harder to catch a computer, but obviously they work on certain patterns, so it's completely different from a person. But you saw the example there. There's a couple signs that you want to look out for as well, but generally speaking, you can see the moment in which I caught the person in the frame trap and they can't do anything. That small interval they usually get when sidestepping, you can catch them in that through main abilities and green cards. Is very useful. Now, some things I just need to emphasize when you are frame trapping someone. The things that you need to know about is the stopping time. So the timer counts get frozen when you do a green card or a main ability. It's super important to know. So when you stop time and their inputs get registered on the other side, what you'll be looking for is what you see. Do you see them move? Do you see the gust of wind? Do you see anything that's activated for them? Do you see an exclamation mark? There's all these things that show that the enemy has inputted something on their side, which will be coming towards you or avoiding you. So when you press your green or your main, look for what you can see. It's very important what you can see. If you can't see, you can definitely hear. There will always be sounds that show that the enemy has done something. Maybe if it's a sidestep, you hear a hut or hut, whatever it is when they're sidestepping the sound. You know, lots of characters have sound on, well, different sounds when they sidestep. So I advise you always play with sound on. I don't play with music on, but I play with sound on so I can hear the sidesteps. That gives me an advantage on the battlefield. Outside of that, I think you'll be pretty much good. You can watch for their sounds, your sounds. On top of that, you could also pay attention to anything that shows on the screen, exclamation marks, etc, etc, giving you free game here so you can stay one step ahead of your enemy. Now, to end off the video, after this segment, I'm going to show you some live ranked PvP examples of me using this. It's super useful in so many cases. Not every character can do this. For example, Super 17, he has the absorption green, so I can't use him with his green, but I can still do it with his main. I'm going to show you some live examples so you can really see how it works. But of course, this is the end of the video. I won't be speaking after this, but I'll put a counter on the screen. Hopefully you guys did enjoy this video, man. If you haven't already, make sure to press the subscribe button. We're on this grind to 100,000 subscribers. I appreciate you guys for watching the video, man. Enjoy the gameplay. My name is Zakashi, guys, and I'll see you guys in the next one, man.